Okay, Brenda. So again, we're working on reading comprehension, and we're also working on fluency. Let's just talk a little bit about what we read last time. Do you remember any of the characters, any of the drama, or any of the setting? No. Okay. Remember that we were talking. First of all, do you recall the character as far as, is it a person, place? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a thing that we've been reading about?
A person.
A person. Do you remember her name? Do you recall the time period? The setting? Okay. Dita, remember Dita? That was the lady's name, and it seems like she was preparing for an event that was going to happen in November, but she was still early. We were in March, so she's thinking about it, right? And we know that she was also thinking about writing a letter. Okay. What I want us to do is read, but before we read, after we read, we're gonna first of all, I'm gonna time you to see as far as your fluency. Again, you've been doing fairly well. You've been reading 115 words per minute. That's fine. But I would like us to start reading a little bit faster. But at the same time, it's all about understanding what we read. Okay, so decode, meaning pronounce the words as best as you can. Take your time, but also remember names, places that we're reading. Okay. So let's turn to page 4. And like I said, we're going to be, I'm going to time you as far as this passage goes, and then we're going to talk about what you think is going to happen in the next set of readings, okay? All right, would you please start on page 4 on top?
How about this afternoon? I do have a later commitment Evie lies to the boys. She has to, otherwise they go on and on, asking the most impertinent questions. This is a verbal record of gratitude on the other end, and Lily has to smile at some of the imported nonsense of this woman's Spanish. I am so compromised, she is saying, by the openness of your warm manner. So if I'm coming from Santiago, I drive on past Salcedo.
Uh-huh.
The woman asks,
Exactamente.
And then where you see a great big.
And
it's gonna have a lot of words in Spanish.
It seems like it, huh? So you're noticing that good.
Okay.
Anacahuiata tree.
What's that?
Anacahuita tree.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Tree, you turn left. A great big tree. The woman repeats. She is writing all this down. I turn left. What's the name of the street? It's just the road by the Anacoyata
Very good.
tree. We don't name them, Didi says, driven into doodling to contain her impatience. On the back of an envelope left beside the museum phone, she has sketched a enormous tree laden with flowers and the branches swirling over the flat. You see most of the campesinos around here can't read, so it wouldn't do us any good to put names on the roads. The boys laugh and embrace. Of course, you must think I'm so outside of things. Tan afuera de la cosa, Didi bites her lip. Not all, she lies. I'll see you this afternoon then. About what time? The voice wants to know. Oh yes, the gringos need a time, but there isn't a clock time for this. Kind of just right moment. Anytime after 3 or 3:30, 40-ish, Dominican time. The woman laughs. receiver in its cradle.
Cradle,
Didi goes on
elaborating.
elaborating the root system of her, what's the word again?
Anacahuita.
Anacahuita, tree shading the branches, and then for the fun of it, opening and closing the flap of the envelope to watch tree come apart and then back together again.
All right, let's stop here. Okay. So, let me ask you a question. First of all, do you have a sense of where we are at the setting? There's an important word here that kind of tells you where we're at.
I remember Santiago? That they're coming from Santiago.
Yes. It's close to the end. The second to the last paragraph at the end.
It's in the afternoon? No.
Above exactamente. You see where it says exactamente? Above it?
Dominican time?
Yes. You know how they say Mexican time or Dominican time in this case? No, I'll be there Mexican time. It basically means a little bit later, ¿verdad?
Oh, okay.
Dominican. Dominican, do you know where that place is? Dominica? Dominican Republic?
Oh, it's by, isn't it close to, Honduras?
Well, it is closer to Honduras than it is to us. It's in the Caribbean. Now, Dominican, does that sound like a Spanish name or an English name? Or what kind of origin do you think that word has, Dominican? Spanish, Domingo, ¿verdad? Dominican Sunday. So it is it was a Spanish colony. So now you have a little bit of understanding as far as why we are also reading words in Spanish. Because the island, Dominican Republic, they speak Spanish there. Now, we have a setting, Dominican Republic. We have a character, Didi. Now, she was speaking to someone. Do we have a name of that someone?
Well, besides, Didi?
Yes.
About this woman?
Yes, but do we have a name?
No.
Okay, she's talking in person or through some other means?
She's talking to a person.
Is it a person, is it a person who is in front of her, or is it through another way that she's speaking to her?
Another way.
Okay. And they give you a clue right
No,
here.
That's in front of her.
It says right here, only dice exactamente, finding the woman is getting the hang of how things are done here, even after she had laid the receiver in its cradle. You know what that means?
No.
You know, the receiver in its cradle. The phone were in its stand.
Oh, okay.
So she's speaking to her, to the other woman, or the other character, on the phone, right? They're talking about, again, the celebration that they're going to have in, November. So, we just read this, we talked about the characters, we talked about the setting, and we talked about, to an extent, what we're going to be anticipating happening in November, which is a festivity, right? And in this case, I would imagine in the island, right? What do you predict? What do you think is going to happen in our next reading? Based on what we have already read. What do you think? Just take a guess, like an educated guess, based on what we just read. What do you think is going to happen? Well, do you think that we might meet new characters? Do you think that we might know a little bit about Didi? Do you think the setting's gonna change?
I think the settings gonna change, and I do think we're gonna have more characters.
Well, characters, okay, good. Do you think that these characters are going to be adding to the story, or do you think those characters are just going to be describing Dee Dee, or both?
I did both.
Both, okay. One of the strategies that could be used to use is making predictions. For instance, you've gone to see movies, and as an example, what do you predict the movie's gonna be about if I tell you that the title of the movie is Barbie Goes Surfing?
I predict that it's going to be about a Barbie going surfing.
Okay, so you know a little bit about Barbie. She's a doll, right? And surfing, you know that consists of going out into the water and paddling. So you already have this idea. Now, let's say for instance I tell you that there's a movie that is titled Bad Luck on the Ride Home. Bad Luck on the Ride Home. What do you think the movie's gonna be about?
About someone being on their way home and they're just gonna have bad luck.
See, well, good. See, you haven't read the story, you haven't seen the movie, but based on the title, you can make predictions. So that's what I want you to start doing. Like a movie, when you already saw the title, you've already predicted. Now, what you're doing now when you go and watch the movie is look to justify or make sure that your predictions are correct by looking, oh yes, that's what we do. We're curious. And that's what I want you to do. Question what you're going to be reading so it'll help you focus. Just like in a movie, when you see a title, you already know what it's going to be about, but while you're watching it, you want to make sure that your prediction was the same. Same as a book, okay? When you read a book, make predictions because that will help you understand what's going to happen next because you're looking conscientiously, you're looking for those answers, okay? All right, miss. So I will see you then, hopefully, on the 5th, okay? Muchas gracias, señorita. Thank you. And don't forget, I want us to, when you read, make predictions.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, miss.